is Teresia here, co-founder of the Erickson Business Center, creator and facilitator of the Passion to Profit program, and most importantly, your personal business building mentor. I am excited today to have Tania Walter-Gardiner with us today. I'm going to be interviewing Tania on a specific strategy that really makes the difference in getting paying clients. And many of you probably know Tania. She is a graduate of the Art and Science of Coaching. She's a graduate of many of the advanced programs, also with Erickson College. There's probably a whole list there, Tania, isn't there? I know you've done a lot. And then also a graduate of the Passion to Profit program, and very honored to have her as a mentor assistant with the present Passion to Profit program. So Tania has tons of experience with building your business, tons of, just wealth of knowledge, and she's been, every step of the way since we've been working together, since the first day of her being a student with the Passion to Profit program, I've been seeing her take her talent and passion for coaching and turn it into a profitable business. And I want to interview Tania today to share with you a strategy that we're going to talk about 3-tier pricing. And what I mean by that, many coaches come to the Passion to Profit program and they're questioning, how do I design and position my coaching programs? And it's so important to have clarity on that because, after you do your marketing activities and you attract people who's interested in coaching, we often encourage you, then you want to offer a complimentary session where they have an experience of you as a coach. And at the end of that, you want to be crystal clear on how they can work with you. And we call this coming up with your 3-tier pricing program. That's where you have 3 different options that they can choose from. So Tania has done a brilliant job at creating hers and getting success with people investing in her different options. So Tania, I first want to ask you, just off the top, what has been the benefit for you now implementing and using the 3-tier pricing program with your coaching?
Oh, the benefit for me. I usually go with the benefit for my clients first.
I love that. Yeah, I love that you think first client. And that's a really good point, because what I want to say around that, when we're really clear and we have confidence and we know what's best going to serve our client always wins. But it really does, Tania, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about this, that it's an internal job first with us as the coach and the professional to ensure that the client is going to get value. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So for me, with the 3-tier pricing, made a huge difference to get, like you said, really clear on what is it that I'm working with. So we offer the complimentary coaching session, and then at the end of the session, I share 3 different ways in which you can work with me, 3 different packages that they can choose from that work for most people. And so pretty much themed what would be a value for my clients, but also what was going to work for me, what worked with my schedule, my ideal life, and what I was wanting to create, and how I can best serve the clients that light me up to work with. And so created the 3-tier pricing structure, a little bit unique than what I have seen from other people, and it came out of actually a breakthrough session with you is how I ended up creating the one that I'm working with right now. Okay. So it really transformed what I started with, which were really very similar 3-tier pricing. Like they didn't differentiate very much. So I ended up with you creating a 3-tier that were quite distinctly different and really matched different levels of commitment, different outcomes that clients were wanting. Financially for me, when you ask that question about how it affects me, it really increases working with the people who are committed over the long term, that really want to make that change and difference in their business and their life, because I'm working with business leaders who really want to step into success in their life and business.
Okay.
So to do that, there's the 1-year package that I have to offer, a 3-month package, and then based on a monthly package.
In a moment, I'm going to ask if you can just share, as if you're dealing with a potential client, you're at that point of they're saying, yes, Tania, I want to work with you as a coach. And then you basically you go into, okay, here are the 3 different options. But Tania, I want to recap what you said. So coming up with a 3-tier pricing, just how has that made, if you could just give us, maybe the top 2 ways, like how has that made a difference for you in building your business?
It gives me a really clear, for lack of better words right now, system to work with.
Okay.
So I know going in exactly how that conversation is going to happen, how I can support, how I can get clear on the client goals, and offering the complimentary coaching session, moving into the 3-tier pricing, giving options. So I'm already prepared in advance to offer 3 different package options, because somebody coming into coaching for the first time, they're just getting to know what is coaching anyway, and having an experience with me as their potential coach.
Yes.
And then here are 3 different options or 3 packages that might work for you. What do you think?
And I like that, because it does, one of the reasons I really support coaches to come up with 3-tier, because it gives the client choices, and you said a little earlier before we spoke about, choices based on where they are financially and what their goals are and what's going to work best with them. Yeah.
Yes.
And here I think is an important point. When we offer our potential clients 3 different options, psychologically, most people go for the middle package. Because as when Tania shares, we have the top tier is usually a higher investment. The second tier is a middle investment, and the last tier is a lower investment. And people just, more, psychologically go for the middle investment. So I think it's important that whatever your middle program is, have that be your most favorite program, because the majority of your clients are going to pick that program. So Tania, if you could just share with us, say it's the end of a complimentary session, and I just want all our listeners to be listening and taking notes here. Here's an example of a powerful 3-tier coaching options, 3-tier programs that your clients can choose from. So Tania, just as if it's the end of a complimentary session, I went, yes, Tania, I can't wait to work with you. How do we get going? Can you please explain your 3 tiers?
Sure.
And remember, in the shortest, most focused way possible.
Okay. So when we work together, I've got 3 different options we can choose from. If one of these really isn't the perfect fit, I'm open to discussing an organic process and creating something just for you. But this is what most people will choose from that I found really works for clients that I'm working with. So my first one is a 1-year commitment, where you have 3 full-day strategizing sessions in the first month, and then followed up by a 1-hour follow-up call in that first month, and then months 2, 3, and 4 have 180 coaching minutes to be scheduled however you want, and then we repeat that cycle 2 more times in the year. So that brings us through a full year, so keeping this really focused and high level and short, $17,850 for the full year of that particular structure. So then the middle one, or second option, is a 3-month commitment, paying in advance at the front. What's included in that is a half-day strategizing session, so that's 3.5 hours in that half day, plus a 1-hour follow-up in the first month. Months 2 and 3 are 180 coaching minutes in each month to be scheduled however you want. So that could be 45 minutes, 2 hours, hour and a half, just so it totals 180 minutes in the month. And then we'll repeat that cycle for the next. And what often happens is, if I'm working with a business leader who's working with a team of 5 or more, the second strategizing session we can bring the team in, or we can bring the executive assistant in. So really is building on the goals and outcomes that you're wanting to work towards as in the outcomes through coaching. And then the third option is 3 45-minute coaching sessions per month, and that one is $600 for the 3 45-minute coaching sessions in the month. So oftentimes, well, actually, I'll just stop there, because that's sharing my 3-tier pricing. What do you think?
And that's how you end it, Tania? What do you think? Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
Awesome. Tania, I'm just listening to you, and I just want to have our listeners, highlight. If you, listening to Tania's 3-tier, oh my God, Tania, you have thought outside of the box, Because the traditional coaching programs is usually weekly coaching sessions, maybe over the phone, the telecoaching for 45 minutes or once a week for an hour. And I know, Tania was working through this in the Passion Profit program. We had a breakthrough session just to, really tighten it up. And, you heard her highest level at the 1-year commitment with full day strategizing sessions. Tania came up with that because, Tania, you're focusing on the bigger vision of what you want to create for your life and ideally who and how you want to work with your clients. And then the second one, she pulled in the half-day strategizing session, created a retainer. Like, there's really a lot of uniqueness here. And I know, Tania, you chose this based on your ideal client and how you think you can best serve them. Right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And how much, for me, It's really about building relationships and long-term connections, meaningful. And that's part of what my life definition of success. So that's my ideal client, somebody who I'm going to be working with in a longer term and really supporting in partnership to create the results they want to create.
Wow. So I just really want everybody to hear this. You think about who's your ideal client, how do you want to work with them, how do you really feel you could serve them, and design your programs based on that. And it can be designed any way that you want. Right? It's really what's going to serve. I always go to also, because I'm really wanting to support entrepreneurs to live an extraordinary life. So the, models, the coaching models that's going to serve the life you want and highly be in contribution for your clients. So Tania, just tell us you've really have, just owned this 3-tier pricing, the 3-tier pricing programs. Just what I know you had a win the other day. Do you want to share around that? Or just how is this really working for you?
Sure. After I created this particular 3-tier pricing structure, it was transformational. The coaching, coming out of the complimentary coaching sessions, the people who I was talking with, they're like, I want number 1. Right now, I can't quite afford that, so I'm going with number 2, or I want 1 or 2.
See, and I love that. People do want 1 or 2, right? And they, most people will find a way to make it happen. And if they don't, they have option number 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. But my latest win was 1 1/2 day strategizing sessions. Very, very exciting. The person chose the middle package. She came in for a coaching session, and this just happened earlier in the week. Had our 3.5-day strategizing session, and at the end she said, that far exceeded my expectations of coaching, and I am walking away with a completely different sense of self-worth than I walked in with. And that just lit me up to hear the results that she created for herself through that half day, and the clarity that she walked away with, the plan that she walked away with, and the work that we're going to be continuing to do together. Very exciting.
So a powerful reference for you, Tania, that this package of offering the half day really works for your clients and for yourself.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, I, hope our listeners that you're all being inspired by Tania, be willing to stretch outside of her comfort zone, coming up with these packages. I know we're a stretch for you, but just really stepping into what you want to create and how you really want to serve your clients. So just want to recap by encouraging all of you listeners to sit down, take some time to come up with your 3-tier coaching packages. Get really clear of that. And then at the end of that complimentary session, be at a place where you're, communicating that with clarity and confidence. And then it's just a natural next step for you and your potential client to decide what is the best way to work together. Great. Tania, any closing thoughts that you want to share?
Just hearing you say having that clarity and the confidence, what I talked about earlier is the planning and being prepared going into that session, knowing exactly what it was that I had to offer and what the options would be, the choices for the client, but having that confidence and that clarity going in, the world is your oyster, really.
Wow. Well said, Tania. And what a great example. We call these interviews business breakthroughs, and what a great example of that today. So thank you for sharing. And everyone, until we meet again, I encourage you to dream big, Embrace your inner entrepreneur and turn your passion into profit.